Excellent. Things are going according to plan. Mwahaha. Actually, there is no plan. It was one of those spontaneous decisions, which is how I do most my live streams. Just like, here I am, bitches. What do you think of that? So, yeah. Talk to me about things. First off, though, the purpose of this live stream, as the title suggests, is thank you. Because I wanted to take the time again to thank everybody who has been throwing so much support at the channel, especially all the patrons. Patreon really is what keeps the channel going for the most part. YouTube ad revenue is whatever, it's almost gone. So Patreon is really what allows me to keep doing this at the rate and with the expenses that I have been doing and getting. That's a sentence, isn't it? Yeah, full stop, sentence, done. So yeah, it helps a whole bunch. Also, everybody who resend payments after the Indiegogo fiasco, and everybody doing buddy things. Thank you. Highly appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Okay. So what do the good folks have to say? Almost 1 million subs. Yeah, it has been almost 1 million subs for about a year, if not longer. It doesn't really seem to be going anywhere now, but it's there, I guess. Okay. I've technically made 10 times more via YouTube than Patreon. Really? Oh. $11 versus 1. Okay, fine. That's different. What else we got? You're welcome, but thank you for the awesome content. You're very welcome. If you didn't watch it, there wouldn't be any point to making it. And then I'd be sad. And stuff. This is a really cool thing to do, sometimes I get bogged down with the negative because it is very easy to focus on the negative, especially with my kind of personality. So sometimes I just get frustrated by all the bad crap that's happening, but then I have to remind myself of just how awesome this is at the same time. What's with my throat? And it really is awesome. I mean, being able to do this, pouring myself into making all these videos and entertaining people and informing them and all the other things, it's cool. It's really awesome. And I've learned so much over the years of making this or doing this and all of that. So, good stuff. Sean Wolf asks, will we ever consider doing a collab with Metatron or Shadiversity? I'm sure a lot of us would love to see that. I'm generally open for it, but collaborations can be tricky to pull off when everybody involved is busy, or even if just one party... Oh no. Go away, display. Even if just one person involved is very busy, it's hard to coordinate it. So... yeah, and I've been just swamped lately. Can't really keep up with the to-do list. It's getting longer and longer. I'm aligned with the green bar. There we go. Oh, you like that? It should disappear soon. I don't know why it keeps switching on. It shouldn't really do that, but whatever. You've got a guide bar now to know that it's perfectly level. Does that please you? You're welcome, Mr. Robot. What is with my throat right now? Seriously. Yeah. So, apparently Mr. Roboto does a super chat pretty much every time I live stream, so that's appreciated. Thank you. Ahoy! Arr, Matty! Was it even... Wait. Slade Gaming Genie. It's not much, but I love your stuff. That's fine. It doesn't have to be much, you know. Even just a buck is fine. Just a buck. Yeah. Yeah, if you're wondering. Coffee. That explains it. Will you do more armor videos? Yes, I will. You know, do you do bayonet sparring? No, we don't do that. It's arguably could be included in historical martial arts, but it's just not what we do. Okay. Oh, my inbox is such a mess. My inbox is pure chaos. There's way too much stuff, and that's that. There's really not much else to say. Okay. What is your favorite shotgun from any FPS games you've played? That's a good question. Favorite shotgun. There are some pretty neat semi-auto shotguns in Battlefield 3. Back when I played it, which one did I use? I can't even remember. It's been a while. It sure has been a while. But the 1897 trench shotgun in Battlefield 1 is pretty neat. I've been tempted to get one. Not the trench version because it's extra expensive, but just a regular 1897. Now, I figured it's not really that relevant to the channel necessarily because I don't think that many people who are subscribed are interested in gun stuff, and if so, I tend to focus more on the older things, you know, muzzle loaders and such. But it is a neat shotgun for sure. Slam fire and all that. Poutine, yes. The answer is yes. Have you checked out Floatplane and Linus Tech Tips? No, I have not. People ask me to check out so many things and I can't get around to half of them just because of time constraints and long to-do lists and all that. That's how it goes. Antique guns from at most 1950. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I like to focus on. I mainly focus on, you know, pre-1898 stuff. So, I mean, I like all firearms really. I like the super modern stuff as well, but it's all good. Okay, questions rolling in. The scale mail video was awesome, thank you. I was excited to see the number of views and positive feedback. It was really amazing to see something I've made used, and Carol looked great in it. Cheers. You're very welcome, and thanks again for providing the armor. That's awesome. How effective... I keep forgetting to read the username. Sorry about that. So that was Miles Murphy. And now Xylo, or Xylo, no, I guess it's Xylo. Trickster. Hey, Skal, how effective is a Kusarigama in real life? It's a flexible weapon. I have reservations, I guess, about flexible weapons. I see a lot of practical issues with them. However, the Kusarigama, of course, also has the sickle attached to the chain, so that at the very least is effective, and also the chain has a weight at the end, so that should make it reasonably effective. From what I understand, it's for, you know, entangling the legs of the opponent, and with the weight at the end, that I can see that working. I can never make certain statements about things like that if I haven't tried them. I don't want to be one of those people, but you know, based on the design, it looks reasonable. It looks like it could work. That's all I'm going to say. Alex says this can be a small part of the investment towards something from Lutel. More two-handers, more coffee. Coffee two-handers. Or two-handed coffees? Yes. Two-handed coffees. Battle coffee. We're going to do that. Speaking of which... yeah, I've never had anything from Lutel, so I don't know I mean, I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it's like, how good it is. I mean, I've seen some good reviews. Oh wow, here's a very very generous donation from. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher that. Arseny Kapulkin. Did I butcher that completely? Anyway, thank you very much. Thanks for all your hard work. I enjoy the focus and practice videos lately. I started watching your channel because of sword reviews, and more of that would be appreciated. Yes, I have more reviews coming up. Sad to-do list is long, but there's stuff coming. There's always stuff coming. Always. Make and Create says, hey Skall, have some money. I really like the sparring videos. You should do more of those if your body can handle it. All the best. Yeah, that's that's always a question. I mean, it's random. You know, some days it's fine. Other days either the shoulder or the knee or both act up, and it's like I can't even tell really. I mean, sure, in some cases it's after a hard workout it'll hurt. Fine, I get that, but sometimes it's random. Like I've just not really haven't strained myself particularly. I haven't been particularly inactive. It's just kind of average, and nope, still doesn't like it. Sometimes it's the weather. I mean, literally. It seems cliche, like, oh, I could feel the weather in my bones, rather in my ligaments. But yeah, sometimes cold days do that. Some winter days will just give me knee pain in particular. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, what's a Miss Mario Kart Wii fan says Floatplane is a subscription service to pay $3 monthly for early videos, no ads, and a nicer comment section. Okay. I have not... No, I have heard of it, but I haven't really taken a closer look so far. Mr. Roboto again. Trench Club, maybe yes. Reviews on it asking. Okay. Trench Club, yeah, if I can get my hands on one, I'd review it. Why not? Just a nice night being nice. Thank you. Yes. Okay. What's the chat doing? If you had to participate in a sword fight, what would you wear as protection? As much as I can handle, basically. A modern Hema mask, or would you prefer medieval helmets? That's a good question. I think I might actually go for a modern, maybe like a riot helmet, because it's pretty good protection. A Hema mask, I wouldn't. It might be fine, but it might, depending on the quality, it might cave in from a good sword cut with a sharp sword, and also a thrust with a sharp sword might force its way through the mesh. Maybe not, but I wouldn't want to risk it necessarily. Would you use Spez Heavies or the Art Armor Tristan Gauntlets? I would use the Tristan Gauntlets just because it is steel, and yeah, they cover very, very well. So do the Spez. They will probably be fine against sharp swords. It's pretty thick plastic, but I would probably use the steel ones just to be on the safe side. Okay. Don't spend too much time on asking questions in the regular chat. By the way, I can only read like 5% or so, if that, because I have to keep up with everything, and it takes a while to. I mean, you know that it takes a while to answer questions and everything. And when the window isn't up in the video, I don't see the stream. Just so you know. Okay. Enrique Benito says, any advice or suggestion for a Spaniard that goes to Vancouver Island for 1 month this summer? Love your videos. Bring warm clothing, because I'm guessing for you, Vancouver Island summer might be cold. It's pretty mild. We don't generally get more than, when it gets really hot, when we have a heat wave, it goes up to 28, maybe 30 in rare cases, Celsius, of course. And yeah, so that might be a little cold for you. Otherwise, compared to Spain, you may find people are a little more reserved, perhaps. I mean, they're friendly overall, and they're definitely not as reserved as Scandinavians. Not as cold, you may say. So, I mean, it's not really too much to say. You figure it out. I mean, you'll see how people are like when you're here and all that. They, from what I understand, the concept of personal space is a little different in Spain. Like people like to get a little closer. Canadians prefer a bit more personal space and less physical contact. So that's something to keep in mind. But otherwise, yeah, you'll be fine. Was that Spyroos? What? Spyroos, I guess? I have to lean in because the screen is fairly far away from me. Do you have any halberd videos on your to-do list? Yes. Yes, I do. You might as well ask me, what do you not have on your to-do list? Because chances are it's probably somewhere. Euphoric... Euorphic. Okay, Euorphic cow. Euorphic cow. Okay, I read it as euphoric crow. I think I like that. Euphoric crow that would be pretty good. You should change your username to that. Just saying. Who will win, samurai or knight? Her. You know who will win? The armored pigeon. That's who. The man with a plan. Your thoughts on what would win a fight, a saber or a rapier? That's a good question. There is a number of different sabers, and some sabers are pretty thrust-oriented. So in that case, I mean, if you try to do the thrusting game, yeah, I know how that sounds, against a rapier, then I think the rapier would probably win because that's what the rapier excels at, obviously. Now the saber would have more mass, but the rapier has the length advantage. And yeah, if it's a cutting saber versus a rapier, it's a tricky situation. It would be very dangerous for both because a rapier thrust, while potentially highly lethal, is not incapacitating instantly. Like you can run somebody through with the full length of the rapier and they will still keep fighting for a while just because it's not structurally disabling. Whereas a saber cutting someone's arm off, yeah, obviously the arm is gone. They're not going to fight with that anymore. So it's more of a fight stopper. Also, for example, a saber cut to the leg is much more likely to make somebody collapse and not be able to fight effectively, whereas a rapier thrust to the leg is not going to do that. Yeah, at least unlikely. So it's quite uneven in that regard. But a rapier is very, very dangerous, of course. Quick thrusts, hard to effectively defend against, unless you also have a rapier. Okay. Daily anus. You like beans? Yeah, sure. Angry clown. Oh yeah, you're on Patreon as well. I read a book with a saber versus rapier fight. The guy with the rapier won because he could reload a revolver very quickly. That makes sense. And there are rapiers with flintlock barrels on there. So, sure, if you get ready, line up your rapier, shoot them. Yeah, you win. Whoever cheats best wins. That's what real combat is like. People can talk as much as they want about honor, but if you actually look at historical accounts of how people behaved in real life and how they fought, honor sometimes takes a back seat. Or at least, they will still tell you that they were being honorable, but they have an interesting definition or interpretation of honor at that time. Or they interpret their actions to fit their sense of honor. because survival is ultimately more important, and people will find ways to rationalize, that's for sure. I mean, even when you look at samurai with, it's all about the code of honor, and yes, honor was highly important, of course, and honor could mean death, basically, or loss of honor could mean death. But at the same time, they came up with a system of techniques to basically assassinate somebody openly before they can react. I mean, if the quick draw, drawing from the scabbard and cutting somebody immediately, as quickly as you can before they can even draw, that's a workaround. I mean, you're facing them, like it's still face to face, and you may issue a challenge right before you cut them down, but you're still kind of murdering them. I mean, it's kind of gray area. It's not quite a fair fight, but it's not quite murder. It's something in between that they still fit into their sense of honor, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Oh yeah, Dan H asks, do you still feel weaker or less agile with all your injuries? Yes, definitely. The chronic knee injury has an impact on my footwork. That is definitely noticeable. And the shoulder also has an impact on how much I can exercise and how much stronger I can get, basically. But I mean, I've never been the most physically fit guy to begin with in my life. I've always been overweight at some level. I still have a bit too much body fat, even though it may not look like it. And yeah, so I have issues, man. Working on them. I've always been working on them. Well, not always. There have been periods where I just didn't give a fluff. So I just kind of, whatever. But in fact, it goes up and down. Yeah. Anyway. PD Curtis 88 asks, more fish knives, please. How dare you? How dare you? I'm a ram a fish up your bunk. Your bunghole. Yes, that's what it is. Your storage space in a ship. Andy Smith says, hey, thanks for the great work. Been following your channel since the beginning. Since the beginning, really, like 20, not even 20, 2007. That would be a long ass time. I've been at it for a long time, over 10 years. Anyway, thank you. Rory Donaldson says, many thanks to you, Skal. First live stream I've ever attended to. Thanks for the content over the years. You are welcome, and thank you. I'm not here now. Okay? Then that means I don't have to read your stuff and don't have to do anything, really, because you're not here. Okay. I know we hear a lot about the legend and mythos of the ninja, but what about assassins, or at least spies in medieval Europe? They existed. I don't think we know a whole lot about them. No, there isn't. I mean, it's the nature of a secret agent of any description. Any kind of secret, whatever, spy, assassin, they were meant to not be noticed and they didn't want a lot of information about them, so of course there isn't much. So we know that people were assassinated. Do we know much about the assassins? No, I don't think so. For obvious reasons. So, murderers and assassins have always existed. Aragon Blade. Oh, yeah, Mr. Roboto again. Aragon Blade, do you still have it to test? I've never had it. I just made a video about it at the store where I used to work. As I was just, cleaning up in the storage and found the thing and just turned on the camera and made a video about it. I never owned it. I don't see why I would. The thing sucks. The deadly glitch. You can have some of my hard-earned shekels, but first answer this. First? Too late, I already got the money, I'm gonna run. What is your opinion of hard plastic see-through shields, and would they give a meaningful advantage on a medieval battlefield? Well, yeah, of course. That's one of the major disadvantages of a shield. obstruct your vision. So if you have a clear shield that's still as strong, or at least, strong enough, then yeah, absolutely, that would be an advantage. People will also be really confused, I think. Like, why is he using a glass shield? Because that's the only thing they could compare it to, really. Son of Samedi. that's pretty cool. Samedi is awesome. I'm from Mexico, and I plan to move to Canada. What would you recommend me to do since you went through a similar situation? Have a great day. Have lots of savings. That's the primary thing I can recommend. All the savings, because it's expensive. Moving in of itself is expensive. Establishing yourself in a new country, that all costs a lot of money. So I'd say have ideally $10,000 or more in the savings. Otherwise, you have to go through all the paperwork. Make sure you read as much into it as you can. I know it can be confusing, all the regulations and everything, but you need to know exactly what you're doing with regards to residence permit and everything. Other than that, try to get into contact with people, of course, and be prepared for probably a bit of a culture shock in the beginning. But rest assured, if in the beginning you feel kind of overwhelmed or lonely because you don't know anybody yet or anything like that, rest assured it'll pass. You'll adjust and it'll get better. That's all I can say right now. Oh wow, there's a lot of questions to catch up to. So sorry again for not reading the regular chat. I've got my hands full here with the super chats. Then we've got, what's this? Oh yeah, how effective is carbon fiber as material for polearms? I don't think that would be terribly effective. Carbon fiber is... I don't think you could sharpen that, really. I mean, you could bludgeon somebody with a carbon fiber club, I suppose, but otherwise not so much. Oh, Eric, look at that. Thanks, dude. Noise, yes, it's all noise. Everything is noise. At some point, I should make a live video with you here as well. I've made live videos with Julian, so why not one with Eric as well? Everybody at Bloodline. We're just going to sit around in a circle and just have a live stream, and everybody's just going to start talking at the same time. It's going to be a major mess. And, yeah. Fun. Will you be... Oh, yeah, Brad Avery says, will you be doing a video gaming on Skallagrim? I already have! Watch it, bitch! No, seriously, I have actually put up a gameplay video of Blood... I almost said Castlevania. Of Bloodstained Ritual of the... Curse of the Moon. See what I did there? Bloodstained Ritual of the Moon. I mixed Ritual of the Night and Curse of the Moon because I want Ritual of the Night, damn it. But lately I've been playing Dawn of Sorrow again on the DS, and I forgot how awesome it is. It's literally Symphony of the Night all over again, except potentially, maybe even... Is it really better? It's very comparable. It's about equal. Aside from the fact that I don't like the touchscreen functionality in there. It was just shoehorned into it just because, oh, it's on DS, we have a touchscreen now, better use it. No. Bad idea. But otherwise, it's awesome. Anyway. Yeah, good job of catching up if you just keep sidetracking and rambling about other things. Good job, dude. The man with a plan asks, what's your favorite anime character and why? I don't watch much anime, so... Let me see. I mean, there are a few really cool characters, for sure. I've always liked Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. Yes, it's Z, it's not Z. Take it. Yeah, Piccolo is pretty awesome. Vegeta in the more recent ones, since he matured more and is less of an asshole, but still asshole enough to be badass. He's pretty cool too. Let's see. Oh yeah, Vampire Hunter D. I like too. That's definitely also another favorite. That's all I can think of right now. Larry Link says F. That better not be short for FU. Tech Coyote says, are Italian stiletto automatic knives a good self-defense option? I carry one and was curious on your opinion on it. I mean, real Italian ones. Sure. I mean, they are designed as combat knives, basically. They have no other purpose, really. It's a stabby blade. It's a narrow, pointy, stabby blade, and yeah, you can stab things if you have to defend yourself against these things. Yeah, if it's well made, then sure, it'll be effective. Well, if you know what you're doing, let's put it like that. If you have practice with it and all of that. If you are clueless, then, I mean, you're still going to do well against somebody unarmed, but if you use a knife against somebody unarmed, and that's potentially dubious decision right there. Anyway, Sebastian H says, first Patreon I've ever donated to. Thank you. You're great and can't wait for the new slow-mo camera. Question, I think I saw a manuscript of cat throwing. Effective? Cat throwing in a manuscript? Well, I mean, if you throw the cat in someone's face and the cat is angry enough, it'll scratch the fluff out of them. So, I guess you can throw cats. End them clawly. Yes. Oh, by the way, the camera fund is not quite at half yet, so I'm still not sure if this really works out. The camera is that expensive. It takes quite a lot to save up for it, but I'll keep at it. We'll see. Oh, I think you meant a carbon fiber shaft. Possibly. That would make a lot more sense than a carbon fiber blade, for sure. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I'd have to test that. I'd have to give it to Eric to see if it holds up to unreasonable abuse. If Eric can't break it, then it's good. I mean, it's really damn good. You skipped my question. I did? Well, fuck me then. Let me see if I can find you again. Where are you? I don't see you anywhere. Scrolling. Nope. I don't see you. That's the first one that I see from you here. Oh, there. Oh, it was orange. That's why I hate orange. I probably subconsciously ignored it because it was orange. Sorry about that. I've been working with bow/quarterstaff for the past few years. Have you ever considered doing more polearm videos? Yes, always more polearm videos. They're just logistically more difficult because they're a pain in the ass to transport, and there really aren't that many on the market. I mean, good ones. So that's a bit of an issue. Maintaining blade or edge alignment with a halberd. Yeah, it's a bit different, and it can be more challenging than with a sword, for sure. The good news is a halberd hits so hard you don't even need perfect edge alignment to wreck things. So there's that. Yeah. Any chance we will be making more videos breaking down fantasy weapons? I found you from the breakdown of my favorite, the Keyblade. Yeah, I guess. It's my least favorite video to make because it seems so redundant and silly, but yeah. It's also super popular, so I guess I have to. I don't have to, but it seems like a good idea to please the masses. The uneducated masses of plebs. Plebs and noobs. Here's a PayPal donation. Let's hope those plastic radiation shields I sent were useful. Yes, they definitely come in handy to protect the camera. Here's a little extra without giving YouTube a cut, so I'm demonetizing YouTube. I like the way you think. You might want to check out the game Warframe. It has lots of melee weaponry and has an expansion coming out soon. They might be interested in a sponsored video. It's a cool game on general principle with decent devs. Okay, yeah, several people have mentioned Warframe. Hasn't really caught my interest so far, but a lot of people are interested in it. Here's another one. Here's some bucks and a question for you. Very generous donation, by the way, too. I suppose you knew a German engineer who possibly maybe in the future might have access to high-power cutting laser, machines for all kinds of heat treatment and metal coating, etc. What kind of weapon/armor would you like said engineer to attempt to make for you, hypothetically speaking? Uh-huh, I see. Oh, and it's Dan. That's the kind of shenanigans you're up to now, huh? I see. Well, I'm pretty sure I can come up with something. I mean, you could probably make pole arms, or at least pole arm blades, and then I can haft it to something, because pole arms are really not in abundance, I would say. Also, maybe some weird fist weapons and stuff. One thing comes to mind, Chinese deer horn knives, although I'd have to modify them to make sure that they're not prohibited in Canada because of the stupid push dagger prohibition that gets a lot of things. Apparently, there has been a court case where somebody was convicted of owning a prohibited weapon because he had like a karambit that curved too much. Because the thing is, the prohibition defines a push dagger as something that has a blade perpendicular to the handle. So if the blade curves up enough and you have a sharpened edge that is more or less perpendicular to the handle, then you're screwed. It's because of fucking stupid the law is. Anyway, yeah. Brad Avery asks, how many millimeters of tank armor will a katana cut through? Or should the question be, how many tanks will a katana cut through? Yeah. Depends on how cheap the tank is, of course. I'm just gonna say 2 millimeters. Take that, weebs. Powder-coated metal. Do I need to sand it to paint? I don't know. I have no idea. Never worked with or painted powder-coated metal, so can't tell. What war in the last century had the coolest melee? Huh. Melee fights in the entire war? I don't know. You'd have to look into that in detail, unless you meant the coolest melee weapon. Still a very good question. I mean, the trench knife is arguably pretty cool. There are also lots of pretty cool bayonets, and they came up with some freaky stuff for the trench warfare as far as melee weapons. Favorite blade shape and spiciest food you ever ate? Well then, favorite blade shape, as far as visuals are concerned, I really like the Yatagan blade, or anything similar. Anything with like basically an S shape, like the double recurve in the blade. I like that. Practically speaking, I'd have to go for a longsword blade because of how much you can do with it. Just versatility is hard to beat. And spiciest food, I don't like spicy food because I prefer to actually taste my food as opposed to just, oh, burning sensation, I can't taste anything. Awesome. So, spiciest, what was the spiciest I've tried? I remember once I had some spicy hard candies from Japan, and they were really hot. Surprisingly so. I forgot what exactly it was. I think it was some chili flavored, otherwise sweet hard candy, so it was kind of weird. Although it was probably not the hottest. but that's the first thing that comes to mind. My memory is a 95-year-old man with bent back on a cane, ranting about the youth nowadays and get off my lawn. Yeah, that's my memory. What's... Oh, wait. Where's your To the Ranting Griffin style ranting video? I thought it's still on my channel. Oh, no, wait. Wait, it was... I think it was... got demonetized, and then I uploaded it on another... Oh, great. I uploaded it on VidMe, actually, which is down now. So true, that doesn't actually exist anymore. So, yeah. What do you generally think of furries? I don't really care. It's like, live and let live. I mean, I realize that most furries are not into zoophilia, which is a stupid prejudice, but I know some, I guess, are, or some are into having sex in fursuits and whatnot, and whatever, just don't try to involve me, but do whatever you please in the comfort of your bedroom or privacy and whatnot. And if people walk around in fursuits, I really don't care. I mean, who gets offended by mascots at football games? You know, they literally walk around in fursuits, and nobody cares because it's a mascot. So, whatever. Some people get offended by everything. Anyway, so yeah, short answer, whatever, I don't care. Sebastian H says, want my money back, didn't answer. 105. Okay, did I skip it? Well, I tried to answer it, but I couldn't because I don't have the knowledge required to answer it. So, Google it. Google the fuck out of it. Somewhat a year ago, wrote you about a channel, Fight and Film. Have you seen those guys? No idea. I never saw that message or comment, or at least I don't remember it. Chances are I didn't see it. Have a beer on me after all this Indiegogo BS, or no-go. Yes, that's what it is. Well, thank you. I don't really like most beer aside from the really dark, sweet kind of beer, but I can get a coffee. Always more coffee. Okay. Here's a PayPal donation where somebody asks, could you make a review of this Claymore? Which Claymore? Oh, the Hanway Scottish Claymore. I used to have that, actually. Wasn't terribly impressed. I mean, it was okay for the price, but yeah, it was okay. I was not blown away by it, but it was serviceable, I guess. The usual problem, as with a lot of Hanway blades, it was more flexible than it should have been. So, yeah. Stuff. Another one here, longtime fan of yours. I'm sorry about what happened with all that Indiegogo stuff. Yeah, I hope it will get better for you. I hope so too, because the string of bad luck involving that was kind of unreal. Yeah. Still can't look at the regular chat, by the way, so yeah, you might as well save your time and not ask questions there. Can't keep up, sorry. What you do, a breakdown of trench swords. Are trench swords actually a thing? I mean, I've seen like a trench knife style knuckle duster hilt on a saber, but did they really use it? I don't know. I haven't really looked much into the World Wars. It's never been really something I've been particularly interested in. What do you think about Paradox games, and which political party do you think worst? And the most nannying, conservatives or liberal? Do we have to do this? Paradox games, what did they make again? Let me see. In the 90s, I used to know pretty much all the game developers, or at least all the major ones. These days, it's like, I don't know. And sometimes I confuse the publishers with the developers. I don't know. I'm not really keeping up as much with gaming stuff anymore. I used to a lot. In the 90s, I got the gaming magazines, and I knew about every new game coming out, but it was also not anywhere near as many. I mean, you could keep track of all the games coming out because you weren't bombarded constantly with new games, so there was that. Oh yeah, they made Europa Universalis, and let's see, Hearts of Iron, Cities, okay. It's not really the kind of game that I tend to play a lot. I tried getting into Europa Universalis, but the complexity just... I didn't have time for it. Yeah. Probably also not the brain power for it. Okay. What else? There was another thing. Oh yeah, political. Ugh. Here's the thing. I hate what both the left and the right does these days, at least the far left and right. The way it is now, basically, if you agree with anything on the left, you're an SJW, at least according to the hyper-polarized bullshit that a lot of people are pulling. If you agree with anything on the right, you're a Nazi or a redneck or something like that. And yeah, you can't win. There is no moderation anymore. What little there is drowned out by all the shouting, angry, stupid voices, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. I cannot stand it. The main problem here is authoritarianism, and authoritarianism exists on both ends of the political spectrum. This is what people need to understand. You know, right-leaning people rant and rave about, oh, everything, the left, the fucking liberals want to ban everything and everything. Okay, then you look at what the far right is doing. They want to ban same-sex marriage. They want to ban drugs. They want to ban this and that. They want to dictate what people are allowed to do in their own bedrooms. No, this is still authoritarianism, and it's still wrong, and it fucks things up, and stop it. That's what I have to say about this. Before I get even angrier, I will leave it at that. Okay. Politics are just so polarized and ridiculous these days. I can't even. Common sense is dead. I'm done. Okay. Next. Have you ever considered doing informational videos on specialized historical troops? Example being Landsknecht or Tercio? Never even heard of that. Yeah, I guess I could. I mean, it goes deeper into the history stuff that I don't normally do as much because, as I've mentioned, I tend to focus more on the practical aspects. But yeah. Oh, you have the Hanwei Claymore now, Eric. How come I haven't seen it so far? Oh no, I have actually. Never mind. It's like, I remember where it's lying. Yeah. Right, I've seen it in the office. Never mind. Derp. Okay, you skipped my second question, by the way. It was orange. Really? Is that actually a psychological mechanism that I have, that I ignore everything orange? That's right. I ignore everything orange. Oh. That's why I want nothing to do with the Twitter post of a certain president. They just eat brain cells. Anyway, I'm about to start college. I want to do fencing, but they only have Olympic fencing. I know it's not as real as Hema, but I'm curious about what sort of advantages does Olympic fencing have over Hema. Advantages? None, as far as I can see. I mean, it's a sport. It can help you get in shape. And, you know, the really Olympic level athletes involved in fencing, yes, they are impressively fit and athletic and everything. I'll give them that. And they are really, really good at what they do. But how can it have an advantage over Hema in any way? I mean, it's a sport. How does one sport have an advantage over another? You know, whether you see Hema as a sport or as a martial art depends on how you do it, basically. And yeah, so apples and oranges. You can't really. In fact, this might be apples and plums. You can't really compare the two. Yeah. So yeah, story about subconsciously ignoring your orange question. Dan H says 4 weapons. Thank you. Individual liberty. Yes, that. I'm sorry that Indiegogo has sword and pommeled you and into the ground. I hope PayPal will shield you from these troubles. And you can be speared for any more financial trouble. My wife came up with most of these. That's dad level jokes or puns. And your wife did it. Okay. Impressive. Now, what are you going to do about your collection now? What do you mean, what am I going to do about it? I'll try to add more things when I can, but that's about it. I mean, at the same time, I also don't really like to have too much. Not just because of clutter, but also because I kind of feel bad for owning too much, if that makes sense. Like, I know it doesn't technically matter, but when I think about the fact that some people can't even afford a single budget sword, and here I am hoarding all the swords, including high-end stuff, I don't know, I kind of feel dirty, if you know what I mean. Whatever. Yes. Does pineapple belong on a pizza? The more important question is, does pizza belong on a pineapple? And the answer is yes. To both. Triggered. Okay. Now I have a chance to look at the comments, at the regular chat, I mean. For a little bit at least. What else? Human Rights Tribunal. Okay. Send orange hitman. Okay. I mean, I guess the fact that I most of the time can't really read the regular chat doesn't seem like much of a loss. I mean, no offense, but a lot of your comments suck balls. I mean, seriously. Anyway, here was a good one. Which zombie-tooled sword is your favorite? That's a good question. I would have to say... Does the spit count as a sword? I mean, it's kind of a spear-sword hybrid. Possibly that. Although the Decapitan is also pretty high on my list. It would have to be either the Decapitan or the spit. Yeah. Pick one arbitrarily. What's your favorite handgun and why? I really, really like the Ruger GP100. It's a solid revolver, performs really well, handles nicely. It's beautiful, particularly the stainless steel version. And other than that, good old 1911. It's always a good choice. Yes. Sorry, the question I meant about politics was regarding to weapon collection, training in martial arts, used with the left and the right. Okay. I think dictation software did not pick it up correctly. Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, yeah, as far as politics are concerned, the left is definitely more irrational about weapon collecting and martial arts training and all that. I have seen right-wing people get pissy about that too. It's not like all right-wing people are in favor of weapons and martial arts. You cannot generalize that. But on average, they seem to be more in favor of it, or at least less irrationally afraid of it, I suppose. But again, keep in mind, there's plenty of gun-owning, left-wing folks, liberals, whatever, and, you know, sword-owning and knife and everything, and liberal martial artists, etc. It does exist. Like, don't believe the black and white picture that's often being painted. But I said, on average, and definitely in politics, the left likes to crack down on weapons and martial arts far more than the right does. The right, at least in Canada, often goes along with it. Like, if it's not like whenever the political right is in charge in the government in Canada, it's not that they suddenly reverse a bunch of weapon prohibitions. Like, you know, they don't suddenly make nunchucks legal and certain knives and whatever. They keep the status quo. They sometimes repeal some of the firearm prohibitions, just very few. Like, they don't do a whole lot, but at least they do some. So there's that. Let's see. What was your favorite weapon you have reviewed? Well, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? Albion Knecht. Still favorite. Can't beat it with a stick. Or with the sword. I mean, I will say that probably if the Knecht had a double-edged blade, I would like it more. Even more. It doesn't really have to be straight, but I would like if it was double-edged. That would be nifty. I like 2 edges. 2 edges mean twice the slice. Yes, twice the slice. Okay. I'll just stay there. Do you have a favorite fantasy race? Dwarves. Wait. Thinking that there were some more obscure ones. Sometimes you have some undead races or species, I guess, like banshees or some wraiths, some cool stuff like that. Undead can be pretty awesome. Like, if you take a lich as a species of sorts, then I'd have to go for that. That liches are pretty damn awesome. Or leash, however you want to. I think most people say lich, but leash is a thing too, I suppose. Leek. No, not that. Not leek. So, yeah, but otherwise, like the standard ones, orcs, elf, dwarves, etc., I'd have to go for the dwarves. Werewolves. If they're an option, then yeah, good stuff. Okay, if you're ambidextrous, which hand would you use in melee? I'm not ambidextrous, or at least not fully. I write and draw with my left, but for everything else, I'm right-handed. I don't know why that is. But not really ambidextrous. Which hand would you use in melee? If you can, and you're facing a right-handed opponent, and you're equally good with the left or right, you probably want to use the left. At least if you have experience fighting right-handed people with your left hand. Because if your opponent is not used to fighting a lefty, they may get confused and you may have an advantage. Otherwise, yeah. Switch in the middle of the fight to confuse them. Haha. Yeah. We all know that the katana is secretly your favorite. Yes, of course. The katana. Oh my god, the katana. I don't mind it. There's nothing wrong with it, aside from the small guard. But, yeah. There's no but. There's no but. There's just boobs in this case. I just, yeah, whatever. I'm okay with it. I don't mind it, but I'm not particularly interested in it. Is this weapon in my favorite book series? Let me see. Uh-oh. Copy this. Copy this link. Can I do this? Web page. Apparently not. I just... What? What are you doing? Okay, I just put the thing in here, but it does not do anything. It's just an empty screen. Okay. I'll have to open it in the browser separately where nobody else can see it, because that's useful. Oh, that's why there are spaces in it. How dare you? How dare you put spaces in that? I will personally see to your punishment. Okay, let's try this again. That's useful. Well, so the weapon in this book is 2 mountains and a sun. If you're proficient with it, if you are very good at flinging the sun disk like a frisbee and you break their necks on the mountains, then sure. Okay, I'll have to open this separately after all. What is... Okay, if I open it in the browser, it's the same thing. There is no picture. Well, shame. All right. Praise the sun, yes. No, the sun sucks. It's too hot and too bright, and it can go eat a bag of moon rocks. Can you tell why sorcery in Nordic culture was considered gay? It was the role of the sorcerer or sorceress, witch, whatever, however you want to call that. It was traditionally a female role. I don't know why they associated sorcery with femininity, why it had to be the women doing the sorcery, but that's how it was. I mean, that was their idea of gender roles, and that's why they figured it was gay, because, you know, feminine behavior in a guy is unacceptable and blah, because arbitrary cultural norms. Yeah, so it goes, man. Everyone knows magic is gay. Strength builds forever. Well, shouldn't that be dexterity? Isn't that the gay thing? Do you agree with Lindy Beige that riding horses into battle was a dumb idea? Not if the horse is well armored and well trained. I mean, it obviously worked for them. I guess the very first people who did it, arguably it was kind of a dubious idea. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't think it's a stupid idea overall. I mean, if you don't mind getting your legs cut, I suppose, at least. Armor that shit. Stop apologizing for jokes. Who apologized for a joke? Apologize for telling people to stop apologizing when they don't apologize. How dare you? I will pour coffee on your face. Okay, nice spam comment. If you can train horses, how come they couldn't train battle elephants? They did. They did. Have you forgotten about Hannibal? The Carthaginians or Carthaginians? What is it now? They did use war elephants, as did some others. So it is a thing. Battle camels? Yeah, apparently camels were used too. All kinds of things were used. Let me just check emails again here. And I'll also have to end this soon to get my ass to the gym. Wait, what's this? No, those I already covered that one. Just making sure that I didn't overlook anything because people get angry when I do. Super speed versus strength. Easy. Super speed is super strength, essentially. At least in terms of damage output, because if you accelerate the weapon, or even just your fist, to light speed, then yeah, the results are going to be absolutely devastating. Also, super speed must come with super toughness, otherwise it's unusable, because you have to be able to withstand the forces that are applied to your body when you accelerate that quickly. And also, at certain speeds, even just dust particles in the air might become damaging, and running into anything would be, yeah, I mean, your body would have to withstand that. So super toughness is already in there, and super damage output is too. So you're getting much more bang for the buck. Although arguably super toughness is always the baseline. It's always required, because if you have super strength and you punch a wall with your super strength, then you would still shatter your bones. So you would still need super toughness to go along with the super strength. Otherwise you would just murder yourself trying to apply that strength. You know, if you try to lift something that is way too heavy for your regular human bones to support, then they would just crack and break and crumble. So super toughness arguably always comes as part of the package, which means this: if you only get super toughness, then you got a bum deal. You were cheated. Which era or Germanic people had the most interesting culture? All cultures are interesting to some extent. I mean, it depends on your personal individual interests. I generally find it interesting to learn about just about any culture, because it gives you insight into things that you may not have considered before and all that. So I'm not sure I have a good answer for that. What do you think about Middle Eastern, Indian, and Chinese historical swords? That's a lot. That's a bunch of very different designs. Yes. There's really no short answer to that. They're interesting. There's so many. It's so diverse. I can impossibly answer that in a short sentence. Love the videos. Your channel is one of the best on the site. Well, thank you. I'm not sure I agree, but thanks. Omni-lock? Omni-lock versus omnipotence. What? What even is? It probably doesn't matter, because omnipotence is literally everything. So every conceivable power is included in that, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, why not go for that? Everything else is just a ripoff. But I think omnipotence would come at the loss of your personality. Because if you're omnipotent, then you're also omniscient. Like, you wouldn't be omnipotent if you couldn't know everything. And in order to be able to know and see everything, you'd have to be so transcendental that your human identity and personality just completely dissolves into this vast, unending pool of knowledge and insight and power. And either that, or you just go insane, because your puny human mind cannot handle this sort of power, and you just lose it and you're gone, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's the end of that. Could be. In that case, that would not be such a good deal. Arguably, it's not a good deal anyway, because humans shouldn't have that kind of power. Just nope. Nope. So the person tried the link again. We will take a look. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Webpage. Oh, great. Go away. There. Zoom. Maybe not on my face. What is... Uh-oh. Can I not... Oh, there I can. That's a suit of armor that looks like it'll limit the movement a little bit. More than a little bit. In fact, with the way the plates overlap, it looks like you couldn't bend forward. Anyway, this was about the weapon, right? Yeah. Yeah, that works. I've actually seen similar African weapons. And sure, it's a bit short for my taste. The long handle and equal blade length. I mean, they were used in history, and some people really like them. I'm not personally a fan of how they handle. That was maybe not the best choice of words, but I prefer a not quite as long handle and a longer blade. But otherwise, yeah, it should be fine. Particularly if it's double-edged, then you can do more things with it. So, yeah, I don't see any particular problem with it. I'm sending you money. I am sending you thanks. In your face, yo. All right. Okay. What is everyone else doing? Shoebox. Yeah, I had to know that. Thoughts on the Makwa Weetle? It's pretty interesting. Oh, and I may have a chance to test one soon-ish, meaning within the next couple of months, if it works out. We'll see. Very interesting, but I'm not sure how durable it is. That would be my main concern. Durability is probably not very good. Any tips for people new to Hema? Listen to your instructor, provided it's a competent instructor, and train hard and often. That's pretty much it. Oh, and don't skimp on the protective gear. I know it's expensive, but it's your body. You want good protective gear. Can you talk about decapitation? That's dark. In the test videos, we never really see a swing cut off a zombie head in one swing or anything. Actually, that was done on at least one video. In fact, there was even in a video, there was even a zombie head decap with a gladius, which is supposed to not cut well. So, well, it happens. Was cutting off limbs a rare occasion back in history? Judging by the archaeological evidence, not really. There are plenty of severed limbs found. Favorite martial art beside Hema? I think I'd probably go for Muay Thai. Muay Thai is a very no-nonsense, efficient unarmed martial art. Good stuff. How's life going? It's going. Lately hasn't been quite as frustrating as it was for a while, but I'm still struggling with some things. But, you know, everybody is. So overall, not too bad. Not bad. Thoughts on execution swords? Would it be far-fetched for a warrior to wield one? It's kind of improvised. It's not designed for fighting, and it doesn't have a point, so where's the point? Huh? Huh? I mean, you can't thrust with it, and that's just an unnecessary limitation as far as I'm concerned. Oh, wow. $100 from Emmanuel... What is it? Padilla? Or... Yeah, I think. 10,000 times folded Nippon steel. It's nipple steel. Get it straight, dude. 10,000 nipples were folded into this steel. Glorious nipple steel. Glorious coffee. Yes. Good stuff. And yeah, thank you very much for the generous donation. That's awesome. That is very generous. Highly appreciated, highly helpful, and highly courteous. No, I didn't find a good word. That's okay. Favorite ice cream flavor? I haven't had ice cream in a while, but... I think, if I remember correctly, I had marzipan flavored ice cream once, or something like that. That was pretty good. Oh, wait, I remember. I haven't found it since, but quite a number of years ago, I found an ice cream parlor that had Rocher ice cream. Oh, that was so sinfully, unreasonably good. Rocher ice cream, yes. That's it. That's the shit. They also had Raffaello ice cream. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Like with actual bits of Rocher and Raffaello in there. It's just, oh, num, 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 num. That's all I'm going to say. Mlem, mlem. Yes, internet speech. Meme speak. Must have been amazing. Yes, it was. Amazingly unhealthy, but amazing. Thanks for replying to my PayPal donation. Could you please explain this part of your reply? You can even use the ancient technique of half screwing with it. So it was joking about, can you recommend a good screwdriver to end some violent screws in his backyard or something, rightly? And I posted a reply with a picture of a giant screwdriver, and it was a very long one too. And the person has one hand on the screwdriver, on the shank, I guess. And I just said you can even use the technique of half screwing. It was a reference to half sorting. So half sorting is a technique that actually shows up in the historical manuals. You grip the blade at about half length, and you get more control over the point that way. So half screwing, because you're half sorting a screwdriver. That was that. Aha! You did change your username to Euphoric Crow. I approve. That's awesome. Euphoric Crow is perfect. I like it. Oh, why not get a Phantom camera? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Phantom cameras. They're top of the line, best slow-mo camera and all that, but were they several 10,000 or was it several $100,000? Either way, something astronomical that nobody can afford. I mean, people rent those sometimes, and even that is hard to afford, from what I've read. Hello from Alberta. Hello, Shark. Also, did you ever watch Fortune Fire? What do you think of it if you did? Yes, I did, and it was really interesting to watch their struggles and see what they come up with. Pretty awesome. Oh, will you join the National Guard and fight for the Commune of Paris? Or will you join the army and fight for the national government? No. I will go underground and join the rebels and fight both. That's the real way to do it. What's that, a hipster soldier or something? Just go against the mainstream, fight all of them, just be independent. Could also be libertarians. But I mean, libertarians are kind of economical hipsters, aren't they? Ooh, I have offended some people mightily. But I have made a joke and I will not apologize for it. See? See that one person? Okay. Captain Independent, yes. Hipster soldier. Yes, we need a movie of that. Captain Independent. Captain Anarchy. That could totally work, actually. Captain Anarchy. What? The 3,000 purple Spanish bats who want to discuss church architecture. Yes. What's your favorite band? I tend to just say Therion. I have lots of favorite bands, but Therion. Easy answer. Indeed, libertarians are political hipsters. I should know because I unfortunately used to be one. Okay. Oh, some people will be so offended. Okay. Nagamakis, yeah. I've got something in the making. No spoilers. Okay, what do we have here? There's no message attached to this one. And, yeah. Oh, I haven't actually checked no, wait. Huh. I just realized I've been using the wrong thing the entire time. I am smart. I actually... where is it? Where is it? Give me a moment here. I actually meant to use this one. Yeah. I meant to. But I screwed it up. Also, it's supposed to be here. There, now it's better aligned. That looked like crap before. So yeah, because a number of people have asked me about Bitcoin. If I accept Bitcoin, I do now. I set it up and I was like, yeah, okay, why not? I mean, I don't personally care much about Bitcoin, but you can get... I noticed there's a website where you can buy Skip the Dishes gift cards with Bitcoins. And I'm like, okay, I can get food with this. I'm up for that. I mean, which starving artist does not want food? I just joke about that because of the stereotype. I'm not starving. I mean, obviously. But artists is, yeah, with their economical challenges, trying to make ends meet in unconventional ways. I mean, I'm doing pretty well overall, all things considered, despite the YouTube bullshit and everything. But yeah, it's not like I could definitely earn more if I did other things, but I don't want to do other things because this is awesome. Yeah, so Bitcoin is the thing now. if you have Bitcoins and want to throw them at me. Also, I had no idea about the scale, if you will. I was just looking up, okay, so what do I set this for? Because you have to set like the minimum and maximum in increments on CoinGate. And I had no idea how much a Bitcoin is worth. So I looked up, how much is a Bitcoin in dollars? And it was like 9,000 something dollars. I was like, what? So apparently you deal in 0.0001 Bitcoins and stuff like that. Really weird. I've never looked into Bitcoin before, so I had no idea. And it was just like, what weird ass currency is that? But a lot of people like it, and it has some advantages, and yeah. So, blah. It's a thing. Crypto is the thing now. Yeah, apparently it is. I don't really know. What's your favorite subreddit? I'm not on Reddit. I mean, I am technically, as in there is a subreddit for my channel, but I'm not really active on Reddit. I don't read anything there, so I don't have one. Boring answer, I know. Watched for a while, I can't give much, but this is a thank you, at least. Well, thank you. I mean, this is why I made this live video in the first place, as a thank you to all the subscribers and supporters and patrons and everybody who makes sure that I can keep doing this. So you're all awesome, and I appreciate you, and I will toast you with water, because that's all I have here right now. I finished my coffee. It's filtered water, though. It's kind of important here. I mean, when you're used to European water quality, you come over here and you drink the tap water. It's like, what the hell is that? There's all the chlorine in it. It's gross. I mean, the standard tap water I cannot really tolerate. It's just, it doesn't taste good. But once you filter it, it's perfect. You know, at least the water in Victoria, the filtered water is excellent. Yeah, it doesn't really say much, does it? It's like, yeah, after you put this raw sewage through the processing plant and remove everything bad and just get pure water out of it, and it's good. Yes. We're talking about water now. Need to get a water filter, yes. Water filters are good. By the way, hi, Sword Sage. Coffee. Real men drink mead. For some reason, at first, I misread the M as an L for some reason. Real men drink lead. Yeah, I guess that's the manliest thing you can do. You just drink lead. That's what you do. If you drink anything but molten lead, you're a pussy. Yeah. It's homeopathic poop. Yes, you got it. That's homeopathy in a nutshell. You use a thing of which there is like literally next to nothing in what you're taking in. Yes. It's like a single molecule of the thing that... Oh, homeopathy. How can anybody fall for it? I don't get it. It's... Wow. Wow. Well water is God tier. Okay. That reminds me, I've never actually tried well water. Huh. Yeah. Notice you put metal in a lot of your testing videos. Are you a metalhead? You bet your ass I am. You bet your metal ass. Symphonic metal is awesome. And many other types of metal too. As long as they have actual vocals. Please use this camera to shoot more armor tests. If I can get it. As said, it costs a lot. And I think after tax and everything and fees out the ass, we're probably at under 50% still. but we might be getting there, maybe. But I'm still not sure yet. I'll have to see next month. You know, if YouTube ad revenue is dipping yet even more, I'll have to see if I can make it happen. But I'll try. I'd love to see some tests of some accurately replicated shields too, if you can manage to get any. Well, I'd have to make them myself basically, because it's kind of hard to. Shipping is murder on shields. I can tell you that. Shipping is evil. Did I hear Sword Sage? Yes, you did. Any news on him getting to Canadians? You mean to Canada? Well, that's still a work in progress, because the paperwork is a bitch, or all the requirements rather, and he's currently set up in fairly close to the border in the US, and he's basically just saving up now because it is a costly proposition, if you will, and yeah, takes a lot of time and money. So things are stable now, but takes a bit. There is a long-term plan, he just tells me via Discord. I'm sure there is. He has plans. Why can't I start watching from the beginning? I don't know. I guess you do have to wait. Oh, I may have forgotten to turn on the function where you can skip back in the live stream. You have to enable that separately, and I may have forgotten it this time. I may have. Yeah. Let's see if we got any bitcoins. I have no idea if anyone who watches my stuff actually... Well, I mean, I know that some people use Bitcoin because they literally ask if I accept Bitcoin donations, but I don't know if it's just a tiny minority of anti-government people or whatever. Seems that cryptocurrency is particularly popular with libertarians and anarcho-capitalists and all of that. Have you played Conan Exiles yet? No, I have not. Alright. Why are you so awesome? Because I snort steel powder. I grind down the best swords I can find, and I snort them to absorb their powers. That's why I have a bit of an allergy sometimes. There was a thing. I just saw a thing somewhere. Discord? I thought there was a thing on Discord right now. Oh yeah, Sword Sage says I still want to come or visit across the border sometime this year. Hopefully in the fall. Yeah, hopefully. We definitely want you over here, so get your martial arts ass over here. Your martial ass. Yes, fall is a good season anyway. It's the best season. No one can beat it. Don't even argue. I will beat you with my fall stick of doom. The sword snorting thing is a legit cool concept though. Yeah. You gotta absorb the power. You gotta particularly do this with katanas. If you grind down katanas and snort them, you will absorb the soul of the samurai. And then you will get power. Or should I say power and stuff. That's how it works. The more often the steel powder is folded, the worse the allergy will be. Like, you will sneeze your ass off, but the power is worth the sneezes. I mean, you saw how much I sneeze in the latest video, didn't you? Or, well, not the latest, but the one before that. That's why I sneeze so much. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, the best thing is if you can snort a lightsaber. I haven't quite figured it out yet. I may have to just go for injection instead. I'm not sure yet. Haven't found a good way to do that yet. I mean, you can lick them to absorb just a little bit at a time, but you can only manage so much until you have to wait for your tongue to heal, you know. Seeing as you are a member of the Hema community, what is your opinion on Larp? Pretty much the same as furries. I don't care. Like, let people have fun, let them do whatever. I don't really... I'm not involved, and I don't really care, and that's fine. And in each case, it can look pretty cool. I will say that, you know. There's some pretty awesome looking anthro art, and, you know, werewolves and stuff and other things. And LARP can look pretty cool too. Like, some people have pretty awesome costumes and everything, but it's not something that interests me, so there's that. All right. Sword licking, yes. Do it. Get to it. Do it. I always end up... Wait, what? Wait a moment, what? I just got seriously distracted. Ah, I see. I figured that was not legit at all. So I just got an email saying that somebody on Patreon pledged $1,522, but when I click on the profile, it says this page has been removed. So yeah, I'm guessing maybe the person, I don't know, it doesn't even make sense. Even if it's $1.5, why would they enter 1.522? I'm not sure what happened there. It's weird, but I'm pretty sure that did not work. Could have been a troll or something. I don't know what happened, but I was just for a moment like, what? Somebody pledged how much? Nah, that can't be real, and it wasn't. As far as I can tell, that was definitely not real. Anyway, so that was weird. What was I saying before that? Can somebody remind me before I got distracted by this Patreon email? I was saying something and it's gone now. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, man. Things. What was I talking about? I'm too scatterbrained. You can't fool me, Skall. There was no underground libertarian resistance in 1871 France. You are a Prussian spy. Expect a visit soon. That's all I'm gonna say. You French filth. Have you ever made a video about the wasp injection knife? No, I have not gotten my hands on it, and it's weird, but I don't know. My best friend has told me that he wants to get me a sword as a wedding gift. Are you aware of any historical traditions that do something similar? I've heard of knives or daggers for weddings, but I'm not sure if that's something that people came up with recently. Can't really say. I haven't heard of it or read about it so far, but it might have been a thing sometime, somewhere. Hat is the thank you about. What is it about? Well, it's a thank you to everybody who keeps the channel alive, meaning patrons in particular. Patreon is a huge help. Everybody who sends in donations, and of course also just everybody who keeps watching, because that helps too. Or rather, that's the point of the entire thing, you know. If you have to watch for it to be worthwhile, because otherwise I'd be just doing nothing, really. Nothing meaningful, at least. I'd just be putting up videos and saying, yeah, they'll be on the internet. Maybe someone's cat will watch them. Love you. Well, thank you, creepy stalker you. Been watching since 2013, so thank you. That's a long time. That's 5 years. Thanks. 2013. I'm trying to remember, what was 2013 like? Less stressful, I remember that. But it was a year. I did things. Like every year. I can't remember any year when I didn't do things. I didn't go into cryogenic sleep. Or if I did, I didn't remember it. You know, things. Oh yeah, that reminds me, before I go to the gym later, I should take a look if anything weird is going on right now. It's a 24-hour gym, which is awesome, so I can go there whenever I want, even in the middle of the night if I feel like it. But they have classes sometimes, and it's a small gym, so I'm assuming that that wouldn't work so well if there is something going on at the same time. Let me see. Just don't want to run into classes, so to speak. When are they again? Schedule. There. On a Sunday. What are you doing? Oh, nothing. Okay. Most Sundays are good. No problem. All good. First the KGB, then Stasi, now Skall. How many death camps will I be sent to? Until, you know, the death camps will continue until morale improves. You know how that goes. So you better get your shit together right now. And send bitcoins. So random. So random. I don't know what it is about live streams. They're fun to do. And every time I think, you know what, I have a bit of time in between. I'm just going to sit down and do like a half-hour live stream or an hour. It's never that. It's always longer. Every single time it's like, hey, let me try to catch up some more with comments and questions and stuff. Whatever. Shenanigans. Speaking of shenanigans, my other channel, Skallagrim, is doing quite well. It's been fun to make videos for that, the casual kind of messing around, and people love it apparently. I got so many positive comments and all the likes and everything. People are really loving it. So if you're interested in personal stuff, you know, where I just randomly whip out the camera and record my thoughts and things I do, and just going for a walk and nature and blah and stuff, then check it out. It'll be linked down below. In fact, I should add the link right now because I don't think it's there yet. I will do that. On the video, I shall do this thing. Where is? Here. And then I'm gonna open up my other channel so I can actually do the thing. Grab the link. There it is. And copy and paste. There it is. Okay, it is now there. I'm also... Oh yeah, right, before I forget, I'm also just going to put the Skip the Dishes referral link in there again, in case people want $7 off on their first order. Because food, everybody likes to have food delivered at their home. I do. Everybody likes food. Aside from the scrawny models. That was unnecessary. Anyway. Here. I'm often making weird noises. I'll be back with you in a moment. There. Now the link is there. If you want some tasty noms, you can do that. Okay. All right. What else we got here? Free real estate? Where? What, you don't like food? What is wrong with you? You've got issues, man. How does one actually sleep? I know how to sleep, I don't know how to sleep well, so I may not be the right person to ask this question. How close to that camera are you? Further than arm's length. I cannot touch it. Why do you ask that? It's not even the first time that somebody asked that. Sage is asking how much body training is done in Hema. What I mean is that how much waist / leg / body work is done to power the sword. So it depends. We do conditioning drills every now and then, and otherwise it's we just do warm up 10 minutes. No, wait, more like 15 minutes. So jogging, push-ups, sit-ups, leg raises, well, bridges rather, and a few other things, dynamic stretching, and then otherwise the drills, the technique drills themselves, of course, train those muscles. And when we practice certain cuts over and over again, going to focus on rotating the core and everything. Otherwise, strength training and conditioning, I said it happens every now and then in class, but not every week, and it's mostly left to individuals to train, because it's always a bit difficult in class to account for the difference in fitness levels, because people who have only just started, or even people who have been there longer, there's just different fitness levels, and not everybody can keep up with the heavy conditioning. But it's definitely good to do, for sure. All right. Will Byron Pursbane have a comeback time anytime soon? Possibly. It's possible. I might do that. Hope you're able to get that camera. Best of luck to you, men. Thank you. Appreciated. Much obliged. Do you like trading card games like Magic the Gathering? Not particularly. I mean, I've tried it once, but I haven't really gotten into it. Which is really no fault all the games. It's just... It's hard to get into new things when you're kind of juggling a bunch of stuff and, you know, trying to find time. I just want to say I appreciate and support you. Oh, I have appreciated and supported you for a few years now. What are you saying thank you for? Well, the support, of course. Because I don't want to take it for granted. I don't want to take anything for granted. And it is amazing to see that as, you know, as much as YouTube lets down its content creators, the audience picks up the slack, so to speak, and gives us the support we need, which is amazing. So, gotta appreciate that. And I do. Okay. What else we got? I should really get going soon. But it's hard to get away from the stream because it's just nice to hang out with people and talk to them and all of that. Fangirling right now. You're welcome. I guess. If that's what you say to that. Does Eric ever snap his silverware while eating? Well, if it's got a wooden handle, he probably does. He probably does. It's idiotic with how much of a push against weapon content there is going on. I agree. It is idiotic. It is unreasonable. But we have to deal with it. Have to deal with it. If you had to be a soup, what soup would you be? I'd be onion soup. Roasted red pepper soup. Just gonna say that. I hope that you get to continue making your videos the way you want to, even with all the monetization bullshit. Yeah, I do too, and so far it looks like I can, thanks to you. Thanks to patrons and other supporters and all that good stuff. Okay, let me check emails again. And refresh this. Okay. And yeah, generally, don't forget to check the video description. There's always stuff in there which it seems not many people see. It's apparently not a common thing to click on show more. You know, it's too hidden, obscure, apparently. What do you think about VR treadmills? They don't seem to be going anywhere. Yes, that's the point of a treadmill. You're supposed to walk on it without it going anywhere, without you going anywhere. But yeah, I mean, several were in development, but there's still, as far as I know, not a single one actually available for purchase. So aside from maybe a few for businesses, but it's, yeah, I don't know if that's really, if anything is coming of it. I would be interested, but doesn't really seem to be working out. Hi from France. I follow you for a long time, but most often I don't leave a comment, and I simply appreciate. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I think I'm not alone in this case. No, absolutely not. So in the name of all your silent fans, thank you. Yes, I appreciate the silent ones too. You know, I know they exist because I see the views, and that's fine. You know, I'm not very talkative in comments either. Like when I do comment, it tends to be relatively short stuff, and I don't really regularly comment on anything I watch really. So I'm silent myself. That's fine. You don't have to be a chatterbox, so to speak. All right. Uh-oh. Gotta make sure that I get to the gym before the caffeine is worn off completely. I wonder if that I wonder if that might also be a reason why I draw out the live stream for longer than I was planning. Because gyms, I'm like, well, if I stuck at the live stream, I don't have to go yet. Is that a procrastination tactic? It might even be subconscious procrastination. It's a good excuse, though. Well, I can't work out quite yet. I'm still working, you know? Oh, man. The ways in which my brain is trying to weasel its way out of things sometimes. Go to the gym, don't chicken. Oh, don't worry. I will go to the gym after I've closed this live stream here. I definitely will. I had like about a month or 1.5 months of downtime because my membership at the gym was running out, and I figured, I don't want to pay for it again, so I tried to get into calisthenics and go out and do stuff and parks and whatnot, but it didn't really work out. The workout didn't work out, haha. I need to go to the gym to just be in an environment where like this is workout space. This is the only thing I do here, and when I'm in the gym, I'm in the right mindset, and I will do it properly. I won't fuck around, which I do when I try to do it elsewhere. So yeah, I figured I needed that, and I also do need the equipment. And yeah, so now I just got membership at a different gym, which is within walking distance. So that's awesome. Don't have to ride the bike there, which I'm a little paranoid about for obvious reasons. Don't want to get hit by a car again. So, and then he gets hit by a car on foot. Who knows? Could happen. But yeah, it's a pretty good gym. It's a lot smaller than the previous one, but it actually has more different stuff. Like it has a smaller total number of workout, like machines and workout things, squat racks and all that, but it has more different things. So you're a reasonably large voice of wisdom to me. Thanks for your humbleness and sincerity. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad that you can find some wisdom in all of this rambling bullshit. I try to be helpful as much as I can. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Let me check okay, I'll check the emails once more. I'll check the Bitcoin thing, and if there are no new super chats, then I will just wrap it up and drag my ass to the gym. How's that sound? People will be like, no, don't go. But I do have to get a move on. I sure do. Okay, so one more look. I'll do one more question. How about that? Either regular or super chat, doesn't matter. One more question, and then we'll wrap it up. I don't know about that. It has to be a question that I can actually answer accurately. Yeah, whatever. I'll just go for this one. I saw this starting when I left for the gym, and I just got back. Well, nice. Good job. How long can your voice last? I could probably go for another, I don't know, hour or so. Then it might get fried. It's already starting a little bit. Why are you so bad? Fuck you, Julian. Not everybody can be like your level of neckbeard swordsman. We're all in awe of your skills. I mean, I'm not even kidding here. Like, if you've seen Julian cut, it's something to behold. He's the king of neckbeards at cutting. Fight me in real life. Get your ass over here. We will fight. And I will get completely owned because this guy is way too advanced. I have no chance. But we'll fight. We'll fight in real life. Fight! Yes. We can do that. Okay, so that is, I think, a good place to stop right here. And we will do just that right now. So thanks everybody for all the things and all the support and watching it. And yeah, I hope you have a good day. Get your ass to the gym too. I will now. Everybody should get their ass to the gym. You know, male or female, doesn't matter. If you're female, you can lift weights too. You get a bigger butt if you do that. And you'll, yeah, do it. Lift heavy things and put them down and benefit from it. All right. Have a good one, folks.